I think that's a skill that you need to learn.
There's no other way to get better at doing something.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to keep doing it.
My teacher says, like, have you just thought about asking them to play?
You're so appreciative of what you have and like the gratitude you have for everything that, yeah, you can still want more, but
Episode 12. Back. Welcome back. Let's get some. I don't even know what to get. let's get some.
Can't get no confetti. Man. We did that episode 10. Let's get some what? Some gun. No, I'm joking.
Nah. Let's get some blazing lights, strobe lights, flashing lights. Cool.
Showman, Freeman.
You know, as always, guys, hope you are well, Unplug family, and you are back and feeling fresh and renewed. You know, we are now a couple weeks into the new year.
Indeed.
Are you making sure you're achieving what you need to achieve? As always, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and share.
Tell a friend. Tell
your mum, tell your dad.
Unplug is here.
To stay.
Indeed.
Forever. Cool.
So, what's good?
We's all right. Obviously, getting into the swing of things with the new year. Obviously, business is good. Obviously, taking on a few mentees in my sort of Airbnb coaching business. That's really good. Helping them with their journey and success. And it's obviously kind of really rewarding.
Do you want to tell people about that? Get a little quick plug in?
No. I'm joking. Yeah, of course. Obviously, I run an Airbnb coaching business with my business partner Elliot, and we help newbies, existing operators start their Airbnb business to where it's making several of £1,000s in profit per month, and we help them one-to-one, bespoke, with no pre-recorded content, live and direct, no groups, all there. So if you're interested, just drop me a DM, whatever.
Nice. Can I join?
Yeah, of course. If you have to. What do you do, bro?
Cool. How have I been? Just kind of getting back into the swing of things. Obviously, you know, moving into the new year. Like I said in the last episode, I was a bit kind of smoothing in as opposed to running in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Kind of just jogging into the new year. So I'm kind of just fitting back in to the routine. You know, the alarm goes off at 5. I'm back up at 5 now, back in the clock up by noon territory. You know what I mean? We clock out by noon. So yeah, just kind of, I feel like an athlete just, building back up, so to speak. So yeah, like, it feels good. It feels good.
No, that's good. Are you sort of feeling like you're getting more into the swing of things? So I know when we spoke in the last episode, you're kind of like falling out, you know, you feel a bit rough, taking your time, listening to your body a bit more.
100%.
Is that still the case?
100%. Listen to the body, trying to eat clean, drink lots of water.
What did we just eat?
Yeah. Forget that. I need some sugar.
Sugar
just
there.
like generally, like, I don't normally drink fizzy drinks and stuff like that. So just making sure, you know, we all, who didn't have a madness over Christmas?
Literally.
You felt guilty after. So once you're breaking through from that, that's
good.
Man.
That's good.
I'm ready to go.
Let's go, ready to run. But as always, guys, we've got a bad boy of an episode today, and the title is.
Whoa! We haven't asked the followers, the viewers, the audience.
Sorry.
If this is your first time watching,
of course.
We are Unplug. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a comment, let us know what you think, let us know where you are in the world. Boom.
I thought I did that, no?
No.
Did I not do that?
Maybe you did, but I'm doing it again.
Cool. Yeah. What's wrong?
Do you know what I mean?
And guys, if you're new, cool. Okay, amazing. As always, like JP said, like, subscribe and subscribe and share as always. But guys, I've got a very, very, very good episode topic for you. And I'm quite passionate about this because this is something that I massively did, and we touched on this lightly in avenues or as in practical steps in previous episodes. But the topic of today is comparison.
Yes. And let's go a bit
I feel like you're going to say something.
No, I was thinking of saying something, but I thought I'd be polite and let you finish.
Appreciate it.
But I was thinking that I feel like people need to understand how and why we get these topics. Like, they're not just kind of plucked out from the sky. Like, we actually use them as things that we have experienced in our own life and kind of bring some element of knowledge or wisdom, right?
Oh yeah, bring some context. Yeah, that could be a nice thing that we start doing now. Yeah,
exactly. Like, bring some context to it.
Cool.
So,
you want a good story?
The episode today is about comparison, which can, like we said before, be the thief of joy. So if we talk about how this came about.
Yeah.
And this came about myself, Freeman, and our video editor. Shout out to Cyber Digital.
Ali, bad man.
We were just having our like weekly meeting, talking about the podcast, discussing ideas. And then it just came about. I can't remember who said what, but it transpired, cut a long story short, that our video editor is younger than you. And you're quite significantly younger than me, right? So, but when Freeman explained to our editor how old he was, and the editor was like maybe a few years younger than him, it was like, wow, like you've done all that. Do you know what I mean? So we thought, yeah, amongst us, wouldn't it be a good episode to talk about comparison, you know, comparing yourself to other people?
Yeah.
The positives and the negatives, because I feel like there could be some positives.
I think so.
You know?
I think so.
And yeah, that's kind of how it came about. So,
I like
so if
that.
you want to add on to that.
Perfect. That was a true story still.
All right, cool.
Legend. No, yeah, but like, as JP said, yeah, that's kind of where this topic stemmed from. And I think, you know, firstly, you know, what is a comparison? Let's go textbook. What is a comparison?
Very simple is when you compare one thing to another.
It's the word in the word. What is definition? The definition of definition.
No, you got me on that one. What is comparison? When you
edit.
Nah, like what? Like comparison is when you have something and you look at something else and you kind of gauge them. Yeah, like you compare them, innit?
Yeah. Basically. I actually don't even know how to define what a comparison is without using the word compare either, actually, to be honest. But you get the gist. Google it, man.
Yeah,
don't be
you know
dumb.
what it is. Comparison.
Yeah.
Like comparing yourself to something, someone else, or a situation.
Basically. Boom. So I think sort of going into it, where would you say, we'd like to take it back, we'd like to get a bit personal, where would you say was the earliest point in your life where you made a very poignant comparison, whether it be of this is how mommy acts and this is how daddy acts, or this is why girls treat it like this and boys treat it like this. Like, where's your very first, most moving comparison in your life that I thought, interesting.
When is my first comparison? It's funny, when you was talking, I don't know why I had flashbacks to primary school and maybe comparing myself to other people in primary school. That's probably my first comparison. So, just whether it be when I was young, I played a lot of football. Yeah. And naturally in the playground, everyone's playing football and there's some ballers in there. Yeah. And you're like, oh, I know I'm good, but I'm not that good. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Not knowing that I might have started my football career a couple of years ago and they've started their football career 5 years ago. Yeah. But I naturally compared myself to the better footballers in the playground in primary school. Okay.
What did that do to you? What did you think about that?
At that young age, I did feel a bit kind of jealous. At that young, I'm young. I don't really know about how do you get better? How do you improve? Yeah. I don't know about 1% better every day.
Self-improvement wasn't a word.
What's self-improvement? Yeah. I'm into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's what I'm watching. You know what I mean? Literally. I'm not reading books and stuff like that. So how did it make me feel? A bit of it took away some of my self-worth. I know I'm good, but I'm not as good as I thought I was. It was a realization. A realization that, you're not all that. Yeah. You're not all that. Just be easy. You're not all that. Yeah. You know? So, yeah. What about yourself?
I think mine was my first comparison. Now that I was just thinking whilst you were talking, and mine's very, very silly looking back now. So for those who don't know, I wasn't born in the UK. I was born in Ireland. Yes, I'm Irish. Surprise. No accent. Don't ask me. So I was born in Dublin. I came to the UK when I was 10, 11 years old. Obviously at the time, thick Irish accent. And for me, again, another episode about, almost recent episode about, doesn't matter if everyone likes you type thing. I also wanted everyone to like me. So I used to think, these are all the popular boys and these are all the popular girls. What can I do to kind of be like them? And I was kind of just thinking what are they all doing? And I just remember them all being in lower or bottom set. And then I remember actively trying to flunk tests and exams so I could move into the bottom set, because I was just comparing myself like I'm with all like the nerdy guys, and because I was like sort of like lower of top set. And I was with all these nerdy guys, like, like all the cool guys, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're playing football, they're running around. Like, I'm getting held back to do extra maths and that. Like, that's not cool, man. Like, I want what they have. And I was comparing like my kind of form of fun with their kind of form of fun. So I compared myself, like, cool, what are they all kind of doing? I never, it's like in year 7, like, or year 7 or year 6. Like, what are they all kind of doing? Like, these guys are all in bottom set. Or like all in the bottom set region. Cool. So I literally, every single time we had like a little mock or little like term quiz to kind of like ascertain where you are in the sets, like 2 + 2, 5.
You were doing that.
Flunking them.
Oh, wow.
3 squared, 45. You know what I mean?
1 + 1, 10.
You know what I mean? 9 + 10, 21. Like all of it. I was like intentionally flunking it. And like my teacher had like a serious conversation with like Freeman, like, this doesn't even like I was like not even trying to like do it, like I was like, I'll do the working out and just get the wrong answer or whatever. She had a conversation with me. I was kind of a bit honest. I was like, oh miss, like I'm only doing that just because, you know, I want to be with these guys. Like, have you just simply thought about going up to them like, guys, can I play?
Can I just play with
you? But again, that's like almost like a form of like self-improvement, you know, coming out of your bubble, coming out of your circle, like choosing your circle. Right? Again, these words weren't thing. I just simply just wanted to play with the cool guys. You know what I mean? And I just compared that all the cool guys, unfortunately, were dumb. I'm joking. No, I'm still friends with these men as well.
They're in these circles.
No, joke. I love you, man. Love. Yeah, do your maths, man. Dumb idiots. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's all love. But yeah, like I just but yeah, I just thought to myself, yeah, well, thankfully just kind of went out to them and befriended them, and obviously we're still locked in. But yeah, that's kind of like my earliest kind of like comparison, like actual comparison that I made.
It's funny. It's like, I suppose when you're younger, you don't realise being intelligent is the real cool.
Literally.
It really is. Because when you're intelligent, you can pretty much do anything you want to do.
Literally.
And achieve stuff, you know. So, but we just naturally think it's not. You know, I look back, there's certain friends that I should have been friends with that were doing certain things, do you know what I mean? And yeah, it is what it is. But intelligence is cool.
100% kids.
Promoting that.
100% kids. So naturally, obviously, there are going to be some negatives and positives. Now, talking about the negatives of comparison, what would you say are some of the negatives attached with that?
The negatives for me were the moment you start comparing yourself to somebody else, it's like you forget your achievements. Like everyone's got their own journey, right? And along the way, even though we might not think it, we've all achieved some level of success, right? We've all evolved to a certain level. We might now be stuck at that level, but we weren't born the way we are, right? We weren't born with the things that we have right now. So we've all achieved some level of success. But then the minute you start doing that, you think, like I said, you think your achievements are not good and you forget about them. And then it can potentially start to cause a bit of envy.
Within yourself?
Within yourself. Yeah, you build up like a certain negative feeling, I'm going to use the word, about yourself and whatever you're comparing yourself to. It's kind of like a love-hate relationship. Do you know what I mean? So I think, just comparing yourself, you start to, not like, it creates a certain negative feeling that you never had if you didn't compare yourself. If you don't compare yourself to something or someone else, your feelings will probably be neutral, right? Correct, but the minute you do that, it's like you're playing with your feelings.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right.
You know, so what about yourself? What are the negatives?
I think some of the negatives that I think, a bit like yourself, is, and I even kind of on a slight tangent, but I read a quote the other day about how sometimes we're so obsessed about the future that we forget about the blessings that we prayed for, which are present, right? And similarly, like yourself, is that we can be so not so obsessed with, this guy's the cool guy, or he's got all the money, or she's the main girl, or like he's the best baller, or whatever. Like you forget, like, your come up and your journey and what you've actually achieved along the way, and your little nuggets of success that you have as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where do you think that comes from?
Greed, greed, lack of sight, vision, focus. I think it's an amalgamation of emotions, but I think ultimately it's human to a degree. You know what I mean? I feel like
look at something and think,
yeah, I feel like it's human, like to think, like it. Yeah, I think it's definitely human to a degree because we look at things from, I want that. Like, you know, you're on your nice car, see a nicer car driver, like, I want that. You know, you got a nice watch on, look at someone with a nice watch, you're like, that's nice. Where'd you get that? I want that.
But don't you think that means that we maybe don't appreciate what we do have? Because if we appreciate what we do have, then why are we still seeing things and thinking, I want that?
But I think that term there, like appreciation, I think that's a skill. I think that's a skill that you need to learn. I don't think as humans we're built with that basic or that higher form of, like, we have the basic form of appreciation. Please, thank you, mom, dinner, dad, thank you for buying me clothes, like that basic form of appreciation. But the appreciation of oneself, I think, is truly a skill. To be able to appreciate what you have and have a level of content that this level that you are right now, I'm okay on, I'm working to get to the next level, and irrespective of what other people's levels are on and what they're doing, I'm still on my journey. I can respect that and I could admire that, but I can't compare that. I think that's a skill.
Do you know what that is? It's gratitude.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's gratitude. It's actually taking time out of your day, your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever, and just being like, you know what? I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. I am grateful. And yeah, the minute you can kind of harness that energy within yourself, you move different. You probably don't even force certain things. Like, you're so appreciative of what you have and like the gratitude you have for everything that, yeah, you can still want more, but you're kind of going towards it with a different type of energy as well, you know? So
yeah, we don't do enough of that, do we?
No, we definitely don't, man.
Why is that?
Like most things, it takes practice. Like, yeah, it takes practice. Those of you know, I like Jim Rohn a lot, and I listened to audio book, and he was like, the only way I know how to get better at something is just by doing it over and over and over. He's like, there's no other way to get better at doing something. Like, you just have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And a lot of us may have done it once or twice, but never really stuck. Even me.
Yeah. No,
I used to get up every morning and like, just 10 minutes gratitude, like look at pictures of loved ones, I appreciate them, like think about my journey. I was there a year ago, I'm here now. Like, how can I'm filling myself with positive energy. And I think, the minute you compare yourself to others, you're now in a negative state. You're now thinking what you don't have, as opposed to what you do have.
And more than likely, guys, you have a lot more than you don't, you know. And whether that be, you know, family, friends, like, you know, you look at this guy, he's got the nice car, but, you know, he's got no one to drive around because he's got no family, he's got no friends. But, you know, you might not have the best car, but it's fully packed.
And also, just throwing in, not everything is what it seems. Like, I know people that back in the day when I was younger, they used to have these fancy cars, but they're sleeping in their cars. Or they can't put petrol in their car. So again, not everything is what they seem like. You might be comparing yourself to a phony. And one thing.
Give context. Why are you laughing?
No,
that's an inside joke.
No. I was gonna say, like, a mentor once told me, like, everybody's an imposter. Right? Everyone's an imposter. So like, who you're comparing yourself to, man, unless they got receipts, like, get those receipts, innit? That's all I'm gonna say, literally, man. But so I just thought I'd kind of
just throw it out there.
Throw the chair out the window. Trust me.
No, that's good. But as always, guys, we're always about some practical steps, right? So, but even sort of like, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself slightly, but I think even before we sort of get into the practical steps, I think what are sort of like some common comparisons? I think let's probably speak about more specifically what even brought about this topic, right? The comparison of age, right? And even with myself, I think especially in today's age, like, let's talk about money. You know, I'm a businessman. I'm always talking about money. We're always talking about money. Like, we're in an age today where money is so accessible and insanely attainable at a fast rate, right? There's nothing like working hard as much as you like. You need to be smart or lucky these days, right? You can make one meme, you could have one pop hit, and you've made your money. You could get into one crypto coin called I hate crypto and make all your money. You know what I mean? Chill guy, whatever it is, like, you know what I mean? Like all these mean like you can make your money, right? So for me, I've always felt like, especially like what I thought when I was like 21, for instance, I thought, 21, believe it or not, married, house, car. Honestly, married, house, cars, kids, like everything. 21. Like that was my comparison. Because I saw another 21-year-old doing it. Another 21-year-old doing it. And because of that, from 18 to 21, I didn't treat myself. No holidays, no trips out, no outings, hard graft. At least up until I probably say at 21, I was working 2 jobs at any given time. Working mad hard and not smart, right? But then up until, I started getting involved in property, life kind of started to change, right? So I think for me, like, and one thing I actually got this from JP is like, simply like, just don't compare your step 2 with someone else's step 10, right? And if you can even caveat slightly, include that not everything is simply what it seems to be, right? He could be borrowing his dad's car. This could be her mum's house. This could be a rental. This could be that. Like, it could be anything, right? So I think like for me, like I'm massively like passionate about this topic because it's something I used to always do, especially when it comes to age and material possessions. Massively. If I look at you and you're successful, you better not tell me you're younger than me, or you better not be a couple years away from me. You better not be. Like for me, it's like you need to be way older. You need to have sweat, blood, tears. I need to see your battle wounds. I need to see your scars.
So let me ask you something then. How did that make you feel? Or why did you feel like that? Like, why should that person not be younger than you? And what if they are? Like, what does that mean?
I think I didn't warrant or equivalent someone working smarter or working hard to obtain a form of information that not a lot of people have access to and profiting on that to some degree in a faster period than most people to be like a worthwhile achievement, right? In my, like up until I was like 21 in my 20s, my early 20s, I thought the only way someone warrants being successful is to have the gray hairs to show for it, right? I equated a lot of like age with success, right? Age with success. Like, what are you as an 18-year-old doing with £1 million? Like, why? And it's a bad mentality if you think about it, really, because why not?
Yeah, what I was going to say, the question should be why not?
Why not? But I think it's just, my upbringing, like I didn't have access to young individuals who were wealthy or who have access to information and resources. My parents, when we came to this country, had nothing. Hard workers, hard grafters. My parents are older in age. I just feel like, to be successful, I got to put in my 10-year stack of time and then maybe I might get some. You know what I mean? But then for me, if I'm seeing you at a young age, I just feel like you're just cheating. It's just like, so what type of shortcut are you doing? It just didn't feel fair. And that's why I say like it was greed. It was a lack of appreciation of what I have. It was a lack of understanding of how to attain information or find problems that people are willing to pay for.
How to self-improve.
Or how to even self-improve. Right? So like I was complaining at everyone, talking about, there's things even in the Bible, it's like, it says, stop complaining about the splinter in someone else's eyes and remove the rafter from your own, right? So quite simply, like I wasn't even making an effort to change myself to be better.
You were too busy looking at other people.
Simply.
Because my thing is, well, if you're watching someone so hard, you're taking up a lot of your time. You're on Instagram just watching all these people look successful when you could be using that time to become successful yourself. And that's another thing. When you're comparing and looking at other people and probably looking at your life and theirs, that's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy that can be tuned into taking you to the next level. And I'm sure when you realize that within yourself, you started focusing on you and 100%. Stopped focusing on what other people are doing.
110%. And you almost need to think about it almost like a runner, like running like an Olympic track, right? Like the lines are very, very like single file, right? Like if you, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but like if you are to go into anyone else's lane, that can lead to some kind of penalty or some kind of disqualification, right? So if I'm running my race and people are ahead of me or people behind me, if I go to look back, and if you find like a lot of Olympic athletes do not look back, other than like the baton and in the relay, like they're very focused and running in their own lane. If for a second you look over your shoulder to see how far people are from catching up to you, you will drift into your other lane, naturally. Or you can even bump and
slow down
and slow down. So I think for me, I just sort of liken myself to an Olympic runner or an athlete or track runner, in the sense that I'm in my own race, I'm in my own lane. I don't care who's in front of me, I don't care who's behind me. I just know my finish line, I know my destination, and I'm gonna get there. Whether it takes 10 years, 5 years, 8 years, 2 seconds. You know what I mean? So that was, I think, the real mentality shift for me in regards to sort of understanding that me, and again, they say comparison is a thief of joy, me comparing other people to myself will prevent me from being the highest version of myself.
100%.
You know?
100%. I like that.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. But again, going back to it now, some practical steps.
Practical steps.
So for those who are always comparing themselves to other people, for those who are always thinking this person, this whatever is in a better position, a better situation than myself, how do you get to where you want to be? What's the first practical step to stop that?
I think the first practical step would be for me is to acknowledge what you have achieved. Because that will instantly put you in a positive mindset. And once you're in a positive mindset, positive things start to happen, right? So, yeah, I think the minute you start comparing, you allow negativity inside your mind. And then negativity breeds negativity. Like you start thinking of various different things negative. So it's about keeping that out. But I feel when you recognize what you've achieved, you feel a sense of fulfillment. Yeah. Like you feel positive, like you remember your journey. And I think a lot of us forget our own journey, start looking at other people's journey and then not knowing how other people got there, right? So yeah, that's my step one. How about you?
I think my step one is, and I think for a lot of our steps, is the identity phase, right? Identifying first what you're doing, like quickly snapping out of that, understanding the success and the achievements that you have to even get to where you are and where you want to be. You know, like I always, ironically, always make the comparison a lot of the times is that, you know, I always make the comparison of like first world problems, right? Oh, the nearest petrol station is 0.4 miles away. You know what I mean? Or like the nearest, you know, Turkish restaurant is like people don't have water. People don't know where the next meal is. You know what I mean? People's like, there's like the civil wars. People are displaced, their families are displaced. They don't know where they're going to even rest, let alone you're worried about whether this, you know, this Turkish restaurant is a 4.5 rating or not. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like, also, again, somewhat contradictory, like a mini comparison of like people who don't even have what you have, right? That can almost help you snap out of it as well. So I think the first thing is identifying what you're doing, snap out of it and immediately be grateful and have that form of gratitude that you have what you have and you are where you are.
Yeah, and there's people worse off.
Literally. There always will be.
Yeah, there's people worse off. It's funny, man. One of my friends, he's been dying for me to shout him out on this podcast. My friend George. Yeah, he's quite wise. He's quite wise. He's given me a few gems, but he gave me one. And it was like, obviously everyone's got problems, right? And however you come about those problems. But if everybody stepped in a room and everyone put their problems on the table, you'd probably take your problems back. Yeah. Do you get me? George, see, I got you, man.
Nice one, George.
Do you know what I mean? It even had me think like, raw. I think I've got problems in my life. If everyone I knew put their problems down, I'd probably, you know what, let me just take that. All right, maybe things ain't that bad. So yeah, you're right. I think that can definitely help. For sure. Yeah.
I definitely think so. What about step two? What are we thinking? What's next?
Step two. My step two would be my acknowledgement or acknowledging that you need to change, right? Because clearly, if you're comparing yourself to somebody else, you're not probably where you want to be. Yeah. Because 9 times out of 10, if you've achieved a certain level of whatever, you have like self-fulfillment in it, and you just feel, I can achieve anything. So you don't really, there's probably less comparison up here than there is down here, funny enough. Because everyone's good. Yeah. So you might have 5 yachts, I've got my 2 yachts. Yeah. Like, we're good. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, just acknowledging.
Acknowledgement. I like that. I think my second one, again, kind of similar to my first sort of relationship with comparison, was planning. Like my teacher says, like, have you just thought about asking them to play? So quite simply, this comparison you're making is like, this guy's got a nice car. Like, what stops you winding down your window? And like, you see all the videos like, excuse me, sir, what do you do for a living? You know what I mean? What kind of stops you of asking? I feel like a lot of the times, like I remember one thing you told me that your mentor told you is like, even with the information and the knowledge and access he has, he says he's standing on the shoulder of giants. So a lot of the cheat sheets, a lot of times, just simply just asking, networking, asking like, hi sir, hi miss, I'm in step 5. I can flip and see you in step 10. What did you do to get there? Who helped you get there? This is currently what I'm doing. I think it's okay, but I really like what you're doing.
And I found as well, like successful people generally will share stuff with you.
Honestly.
Like, and just because for them, it's not even about the money. It's just about the development and the growth. And they like to share that.
Yeah.
You know, very rarely you sit down with a person who's achieved a certain, like, can I get just 10 minutes of your time just to tell me? Honestly. That's what they're passionate about.
Honestly, yeah.
You know?
I think, you're just sharing that sort of wealth of knowledge and that information. It's inspiring. Obviously, they also must feel good as well. You know, helping often a lot of the time like the younger generation, even sometimes people older as well, right? But I think definitely for me, like having that sort of plan and just having that confidence to just simply asking, like, yo, bro, I can see like you got mad techers on this pitch, bro. Like, do you go to an academy? Like, do you train? Yeah, bro, like, I've got this coach. Like, if you want, you come down on Sunday, have a little free taste session.
And you know the wicked thing is that would make such a difference. Massive difference. Because what you don't know, you don't know. But there is someone who knows what you want to know.
Literally.
Like, and it could be just a question, you know? So, yeah, that's powerful, man.
Yeah, no, for
I
sure.
like that, man. My step 3 would be just kind of identifying who you want to be, not who, not trying to be like somebody else. Like, what's the best version of you? Like, what does your life look like in 5-10 years? And then just knowing that's who you want to be and where you want to go, you shouldn't really be looking at anybody else because that's not who you want to be. You've already set out who you want to be, but you're comparing yourself to someone who you haven't. So I think think about the identity that you want for yourself, and then just like you said, you're in that racetrack. I don't look to my left or my right because that's not who I want to be. This is who I want to be. Yeah, I might want some of your characteristics, your traits, but I don't want to be you. There can only be one you, and there's only one me. So I'm trying to be my best version. But I think once you can identify that, get in your lane, get your head down and go.
No, for sure. No, I really like that, definitely. I think my first one, obviously, again, sorry, my third one, being a bit slow now. Jumping my numbers. You know what I mean? It's taking me back, man.
3 plus 1 is.
You know what I mean? But so my third step, obviously, my first step was identify phase. My second step was obviously sort of the planning and asking phase. And I think my third step is like, once you've identified and now you've planned, now it's focus, it's mindset right now. So again, similarly with the analogy of the track runner is, cool, I've identified what I'm doing wrong. I have the plan or I have the information of what I need to do to be better or where I want to be. Now I need to simply just be focused and apply that consistency to it.
That discipline.
Right? And that discipline with it right now. Like, okay, I'm on this track. I'm running. Cool, this person's got a better this, better that. This person might not have what I have, irrespective. I'm on my journey. I'm being absolutely killer focused right now and running my race. I'm sticking to my lane. And sometimes things will distract you, you know?
I was about to say, I feel like there's a lot of distractions. And I was going to say earlier that I feel like people compare themselves a lot more now than they did, say, 10 years ago.
Yeah, of course.
And that's obviously because of social media. So people are on social media just like looking at that person.
It's more in your face.
It's more in your face. And I suppose, how do you stop that from happening?
So like, I feel like a lot of the times, you know, again, and if you watch the previous episode about sort of dopamine and sort of like having like a dopamine detox, some of these things aren't avoidable. Like even like today on a sort of lunch break-ish or a little break from work, we went to the co-op and we bumped into the head of sales for
Candy Kittens,
you know, ran by Jamie Lang, like done the Made in Chelsea bits and pieces and so many other bits and pieces. And with them, you know, we bumped into his head of sales and he sort of came in and he was sort of went into the co-op to compare other sweets to his sweets, right? So he kind of came in to sort of compare, you know, his sweets with the competitions, right? And obviously he's sort of actively coming in to trying to compare, you know, their performance versus their performance and, you know, what's happening in the sales in co-op. And that's obviously going out of your way right now to try and compare yourself. But if you step away, you don't go into social media when you wake up, you have, you know, your time to yourself, you do your meditation, like JP said, you take an opportunity to be grateful and have a form of gratitude for what you have and what you've done, you can really start to see that you're going to compare less, you're going to see less comparisons, although it's not completely avoidable, but you can definitely reduce the opportunity for you to start to compare people. And again, if you sort of follow some of the practical steps that we have, sort of like identifying that you're going in a comparison, asking people for support, for help, and trying to plan with that and along with your mindset, like that will massively help you get where you need to be.
No, really. I like that. Very, very good, man. Cool.
Nice.
So, plug bites.
Let's get straight to it, baby. Let's get straight to it. But for the you forgot a bit of your spiel, mate.
What spiel is that?
Someone's just joined in for the first time. What the hell's plug bites?
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry, my bad. So, for those, I'm just thinking.
Oh, shit,
see, Mike's eyes burning at the back of my head. So, plug bites. For those of you who don't know, it's the inspiration, the motivation, the source, the energy, the positivity. Plug bites. Something we've seen, heard, read, watched. Something that's moved us and made us think, blimey hell, that was hard. It made you just stop for a moment.
For sure.
We read them out, share them with you. Hopefully they have the same impacts that they had on both of us.
Amazing. Shall I go first?
Go for it.
Cool. My plug bite for today, again, in line with sort of today's episode in regards to comparison. It says, don't compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to who you were and who you want to become. Right? And I thought that was quite powerful. And again, it outlines a lot of what we were discussing today in terms of being grateful, having some form of appreciation to understand where you've got to. And again, like JP said, if you were to put all your problems on the table, all your comparisons on the table, you probably want to take them off because there's probably someone a lot worse than you and a lot worse than them, right? So just sort of being grateful for what you have, where you've come, and understanding that it's part of a journey and you just need to lock in and focus.
Cool. I like that. My one is, and this one, the ladies will love this one because it's from Coco Chanel.
Coco, see?
And it's like, it says, I don't care what you think about me. I don't think about you at all.
Ooh, snappy.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that. So, yeah, just stay in your lane, ultimately. Like, don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't care what other people think. All that we spoke about it before. Not everyone's going to like you. You pretty much have to block out all noise around you to kind of go to the next level. Otherwise, you'll forever be watching other people.
Literally, yeah.
And watching other people will slow you down.
Simply.
So stay in your lane, keep going, stay consistent, stay disciplined, and yeah, elevate.
And wrap that up quick. Okay. What is that?
No, that's not wrap up. Man. Let's wrap it up, man.
Cool. But again, super good episode as always, guys. Again, really hope you can take some massively helpful topics from this. And as always, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Shout from the rooftops.
Shout from the rooftop. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell his mistress. You know what I mean? And as always, guys, love.
Elevate.